Hey everybody, welcome back, guys. We are on to part 2 of Rogue Actions here, guys. We're going to be talking a little bit today about the Great Mothers as a faction and a little datacron that some of us do not enjoy at all. Before we get into that, though, guys, if you have not already done so, I pushed the wrong button again, Ram. If you have not already done so, guys, you need to get over and check out part 1 over on Ram's channel, guys. You can find that link down below, in front of the like, subscribe, and turn on notifications animation that I just played. All right, with that being said, everybody, totally professionals here, guys.
Professional streamers.
Yes, we're going to start off, guys, by talking a little bit here about the Great Mothers as a team. Let me go ahead and switch over here so you guys can see this. So I actually just faced this in my most recent GAC. I shouldn't say most recent, but in the first GAC of 3v3s. And good God, it was not fun at all, man. Like, I had to take in my JMK, and as it was, we had to two-shot the team. Like, in 3s. It's not even in 5s. So, first of all, I'm going to talk real quick about the datacron that I faced, and then we'll get into the actual team. The datacron that I faced, so first of all, guys, this is a whale cron. This is only available if you have actually 7-starred your Great Mother. You've spent a ton of money or crystals to get this character unlocked at 7 stars, and then you can get the datacron. With that being said, I didn't even face the ideal version of this cron. The level 6 that we have here is not the ideal version. Obviously, the level 9 is, and the level 3, that's debatable as to what's better, but you can see that this is a ridiculous cron. Even without the cron that we've got here, guys, and like I said, I'm going to let the footage roll here so you can see it. Even without the cron, this team is still doing some just insane things. In 3s currently, the usual team that you'll see is going to be the Great Mother lead with Morgan Elsbeth, and then also typically I would say it's probably going to be Acolyte, but you might see Spirit in there. Some people are throwing in Asajj as well for dispels and that, just to kind of mix it up. I saw the Acolyte, and the stealth is such a problem, especially when you have the constant taunt and the thickness that comes from this team. Like, GLs are not able to beat this team. And might I add, they're not able to beat a single character on this team. A GL faction team can't beat a single marquee character. Like,
Even once the insta-kill?
well, so that's the thing. They have insta-kill immunity with this team at first.
Jesus Christ.
So you have to, so basically the strategy that I took, and you guys will see this in the clip, the strategy that I took is kind of like what we do with Jabba, where I had to go in and I had to kind of wait for the insta-kill immunity to wear off, and then early activate my ult so that I could ignore the taunt. And even then, you have to hope that the stealth is not on Great Mother, which for me, it stayed on there for a while. I had to wait a long time in order to be able to do this. And the other issue that you run into is that there's a anti-revive mechanic in her. I think it's in the datacron. It may not be in her kit. I think it's in the datacron. So taking in like a tank revive cron is useless. So like we took in my General Kenobi, and we had to take in a tank cron for the whole stacking, protection, and all that jazz, because there was no point in having a revive. He was going to die and not come back. Like, this team, I've seen it, so I've watched some other streamers and some of their matches as well with this. Slicker is not able to beat it. Leia is not able to beat it. Jabba is not able to beat it. JMK is the only one that I have seen have even remote success. And like I said, the kind of premier version of this team is not able to one-shot it, even with a stun cron. Now, I don't go in with a stun cron, to be clear. That might help a little bit, especially if you run the plo cron. But again, this is all dependent on crons, guys. Like, that's what's crazy about this. But this team is so good, and we haven't even gotten into the ideal version of this team yet, Ram. I'm going to talk about that in a second. What are your thoughts on the big point here? The fact that a GL team cannot beat a marquee character. Like, please tell me that's a terrible thing and I'm not crazy.
So side side datacron aside, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all know, and we'll get into the datacrons here in a bit. We all know the datacrons are crazy, whatever. Side that confirmed. The Great Mothers themselves they look really good. The footage I've seen, I have not seen them in GAC personally, but the footage I've seen Ranger use them. I've seen you go up against them. They look nasty, and I mean good nasty. Like just they're going to, in my opinion, this is another 3v3 team. We don't care about the 5v5, and I think they'll do fine in 5v5. But I think primarily where they shine is going to be 3v3. Great Mothers, Morgan Elsbeth, Acolyte. Same thing with like Bay of the Skull and Shin Hati and Merrick, right? That's going to be their hub is 3v3. They look really good. They look very, very deadly. But I do have a problem because like you said, GLs can't beat it. I don't know if that's necessarily more so the GL or the datacron themselves.
Yeah.
The datacron, because the datacron's added, it adds a lot to it.
Right.
I have a problem seeing how Slacker could not beat it if the datacron was not there. Datacron being there, I understand why he can't, but
Slacker,
if the datacron's removed, I think Slacker would still stand a pretty good shot.
So that's Slacker has a chance if you have a good attackercron on him, and even then it's iffy, and that's for 3s. 5s we'll talk about again. It can work in 5s, but 5s is a whole different animal that we'll talk about here in a second.
For sure.
It's just I know. So kind of to go off what you said, I know she's supposed to be like a step up beyond just a marquee. She's not just a regular marquee,
right?
But this feels really, really OP in terms of the tuning. The 5v5 team, and I think this is where I have more of an issue. So the 5v5 team that I've seen tested in arenas, I obviously don't have this team, and nobody in my arena where I'm at, because I'm way down in arena, I don't do arena. Nobody in my arena has this team anywhere near for me to test. And that team is the Great Mothers, Morgan Elsbeth, the 2 new troopers, Night Trooper and Peridia Trooper, and then a lot of times they bring in Asajj again for that dispel. That team is literally beating every GL. Slicker is the only one that I've seen that really has a chance against it, and the banners are terrible. JMK can beat it, but again, it is really iffy, and that's only if you bring in gas as well. If you don't bring in gas, you will not beat it. Like, those are all marquee characters. There's no legendary on that team. There's no GL on that team. It is just the newest, latest, greatest marquees, and the GLs in the game are not able to beat it. I'm just...
That's crazy.
It's crazy. Like, it's crazy. So first of all, guys, if you're debating about whether to go for a team or not, this is a great team. Like, this is absolutely something you should be focusing on. And we talked last week, Ram, about whether you should go for Ahsoka or Balin. At this point, I'm almost... Well, the response is, why not both? Because if you have Morgan Elsbeth, Great Mothers, and the 2 new troopers, you've got basically an unbeatable team at this point in the game. Like, so they're clearly rewarding, the whales of the game with just an insane team. But I still don't love the idea that marquees can't be beaten by a GL team. That's crazy. Like, we had a big discussion about Bane when he came out. He was at least a conquest character. Like, goodness gracious. I don't know, man.
Yeah. The power creep is real.
Yes.
Power creep is definitely real. Great Mothers, definitely a great character. I'm excited that they're in the game, and I'm excited to eventually, when they're farmable, get them and use them. I think they're going to be amazing. But man, watching this footage is just... I'm like mesmerized by this footage of how you were just getting ransacked.
Yeah, it's bad. Like, and so there's reflective. That's the other thing. There's reflective damage in the datacron. So literally, your Ahsoka will kill herself, essentially, from the reflective damage. And you see, like, out the gate we're not even like a minute into the battle, and my Kenobi's done. He's done within a minute into the battle. It's just insane, and that's with a tank stacking protection and not reviving, but giving him back that like extra percentage and stuff the first time he die. Like, just obliterates him. Like, yeah. It's crazy. I
almost think you should have brought in like someone besides Kenobi.
Yes. So I was gonna say the version of this that seems to be working better now. Again, this was brand new. We had no idea anything going into this.
Yeah.
We were totally out in the wilds on this, on the testing. The thing that I've seen a couple of people that they did, and I did not have a Plo Koon Kron at the time. I do now. But at the time I didn't, so I couldn't really, it wasn't worth using Plo Koon here. I've seen some people that have thrown Plo Koon in instead of Kenobi, and they are able to make that work a little bit more consistently because they can then remove the taunt from Morgan Elsbeth. So that helps a little bit, but you're still stuck behind the stealth. Like, you still can't get around that stealth either way, which again, you can see in the video here, we were stuck behind it for a while. Like, it was gnarly. If Kenobi had not survived as long as he had, we may not have even gotten that yeet off with Ahsoka against the Great Mother. And we
Doesn't Kenobi have a anti-stealth mechanic in his kit though?
No.
JMK? I want to say it's tied somewhere to his old. Correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say it's tied somewhere to his old. I'm not sure if it's like full old or just half old, but he cleanses stealth off of them. And like, you could see this in the footage, right? So with Acolyte, when it becomes Kenobi's turn, stealth comes off, but it's only doing it looks like when he's in ult.
I would have to look into that. I don't know, to be honest.
So I mean, that's probably why so the reason why I'm asking is I'm wondering if it's better maybe to do a quick ult.
No, it did not come off.
If that's the case.
We just had it happen. It did not come off.
You're in ult now.
Yeah, but Acolyte stealth is still there.
It just came off.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So
see what I'm saying?
Once he takes his turn, it dispels the stealth.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if it's maybe more advantageous to go half ult and try to get a yeet off real quick against Great Mothers instead of waiting the full.
Now I'm really
however long. I don't know.
Because we did that. We did early ult. That was the strat that we used. We went early ult on it.
Okay. Yep.
Let's see here. Okay, so this is early ult activated. Stealth is still there on his turn. Stealth is still there on Cat's turn.
It might be a full ult thing. Let's see if I can pull that up while you're looking at that.
It is gone when he took his turn, though.
Oh.
So it may only be when JMK.
It may only be a
turn.
JMK thing.
But yeah, so then Cat was able to do it afterwards. So yeah, I'd have to look into the details of that. But there may be a mechanic where it removes stealth, but it's not until JMK takes his turn from the looks of it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, we'll have to look into the details on that. Guys, let me know in the comments down below if you know offhand. Obviously, we'll look at it off video, guys. But let us know in the comments if you know for sure whether that's a thing or not. I don't think that's in the datacron that we're running. I don't believe it is.
While Jedi Master Kenobi has the high ground, he dispels stealth from all enemies at the start of his turn.
Okay, so there it is.
So
there is some mechanic.
You need to go
there.
half ult.
Yeah.
And then he has to take his turn. So I'm wondering if maybe there's a turn manipulation type thing where you can do kind of like how you do quick ults when you
well, you do it for Jabba. You do the quick
when you
ult.
do it for Jabba,
right?
Right. So toss the turn back as quickly as you can back to him so that he dispels, and then Cat goes and yeets Great Mothers. That's
but there's no turn
probably the way to go. But
with JMK, you just have to wait until it happens. Essentially.
Well, not turn mirror manipulation, but like swapping turns with Cat.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah, but marquee characters can't be beat by GLs. Like power creep, guys. Guys, let us know in the comments down below. Do you think this is an okay thing, like having the newest, greatest characters? We're talking only about characters right now. I know obviously Datacron's come into play with this footage here, but the characters being so powerful that literally GLs cannot beat them facing marquees. I can't imagine that's a healthy thing. But maybe you're all for it. You're like, yeah, let's move, let's turn the page. Let the past die, to quote Kylo, guys. As much as I hate that quote. But let us know in the comments down below, guys. All right, now, next thing.
What do you hate more, that quote or Inquisitors?
Inquisitors. There's not even.
Figured I'd ask.
No, there's not even a discussion. I didn't even have to.
Figured I'd ask.
Now, the next question, guys, here. So, CG had not done this until the Palcron, and this is kind of where this conversation's going next here, is these Metacrons is what I'm calling them, the whale Metacrons, where if you get the brand new character and you take them all the way to Relic 7 right off the bat, you can get an exclusive datacron. To be clear, I have no issue with that concept in itself, okay? I am all for rewarding the whales for getting and putting in that money, and then they get something out of it that makes, gives them an advantage. I have no problem with that at all. If you get the newest thing, you get an advantage. That's always the way Swugga has been. I have never had a problem with that aspect of Swugga. What I'm concerned about here is that these crons, specifically this one, the Palcron was really good, but it wasn't unbeatable. C could still beat a team with a Palcron. This team...
How?
The Palcron. Padawan, Obi-Wan.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so that one was not meta-defining, if you will. It was very good, yep, but it was not meta-defining. This cron is meta-defining. Like I said, what, 5 out of 6 GLs? Oh, 5 out of 6. Yeah, 5 out of my 6. 6, let's go 6 out of 8 probably, because Slicker theoretically can pull it off and JMK theoretically can pull it off. It's rough, it's difficult, but you can technically do it. When 6 of the 8 current GLs cannot beat a marquee team because that datacron is that strong, what I worry about happening, and I see this happening with CG here, guys, is I see them slowly bringing in crons that are so powerful that they basically cannot be defeated unless you have whaled out on that same cron. Think back to the days of the JMK metas, not the JMKs, the JKR metas, the Revan metas, essentially, where if you didn't have the Revan to mirror match it, you couldn't beat it. When GLs first dropped with Rey and Slicker, if you didn't have a GL, you couldn't beat it. That era in Swugga, I think, was far and away the most toxic era in Swugga. It was a terrible time in the game. Tons of people left the game because it was just bad. It was just straight up bad. No one wants to play a game where your entire roster cannot beat a single team. And what I'm afraid is going to happen here with this whale Metacron mechanic that CG is, I think, slowly testing the waters with, is I'm afraid we're going to get these datacrons that are so OP that literally nothing will be able to beat it except a mirror match with that exact cron. Ram, first of all, am I a chicken crying that the sky is falling on this? And 2, if I'm not, do you think this is a terrible, terrible thing to have come back in the game? Or is it a good thing to come back in the game? What are you thinking?
All right. So as a prior whale.
Okay. That's a good point, because I've never been a whale.
Yeah. I definitely was. Years ago, there was a period where I had the newest and greatest, and I was competing in my guild for who's going to get that announcement of promoted to 7 stars first. Oh, wow. I was that guy. Yeah. So, as a prior whale, here's my take. So, I love having the advantage, right? If I pay for it, I want the advantage. Right. My advantage, though, is the characters. Especially in 3v3, nobody knows what to do. When I first come across a Great Mother, here's my thought. First week, I don't know. Second and third week, I'm going to check swiggo.gg because I still don't know what to do. Right. And I'm going to see what other people been using, or I'm going to go and check videos and see what's been working. But that first week, I don't know. That's your advantage right there. You know? And then you have people, because there's a lot of people out there that do not check forums, they do not check YouTube, they do not check Twitch, they don't watch, they don't know. And you're going to have those people in there, and your advantage against them is They don't know.
Right. Well,
So that's another team that they have to beat that they will probably mess up on or drop banners on, and that gives you the advantage there.
I would think, though, a little side note, I would think the majority of the player base that is what you said, they don't check forums, they're not keeping up with anything, they probably are not going to be wailing out on these characters. Like, I don't imagine that's going to be a very common situation. I imagine most of the people that are wailing out and getting these things and people that are facing those types of players are probably pretty invested in the game, I would think.
Sure, yeah. But I'm not saying that those people that are doing that are not going to invest. What I'm saying is that they will likely face someone who does do those things and does invest.
Gotcha.
Right? So let's say you and me in this instance, right? We fight. I'm the whale. I'm the investment. I've got all this stuff. You don't even know what YouTube is. You couldn't even spell it. And you don't check the forums. You don't do any of that. Your reaction is going to be that when you come across great mothers, I don't know, start throwing shit. Well, a GL should be able to beat Marquise. Throw GLs. Then get pissed off when GLs don't work. Throw Bane. Probably get pissed off when Bane doesn't work. Like, so on and so forth, snowball effect, right?
Right.
So that's your advantage right there as a whale getting the character. You have a team in a tool bag that nobody else knows about, that you're facing most likely. And it gives you a game advantage in sense of if you are more efficient with the character with the opponent's board, you're going to clear. You're going to get better points. They're probably going to drop several battles.
Yes.
Or give up and quit, and you'll still win. Right? That's your advantage. Adding a datacron to the fact, I am not opposed to the idea of having a datacron added to it. Now, that datacron has to be reasonable. This one is not reasonable. This one is ridiculous. Where's the reasonable and ridiculous sign? Right there we go.
I was waiting for it.
This one is ridiculous. See, the roles reversed. The roles reversed now. This is ridiculous. This is a horrible cron. I do not like this specific cron. Just reading what I've read on it, seeing your video, that is insane. That is way too OP.
And that's not even the level 6. It's not even the good level 6. That's the other thing. The level 6 is a whole story too.
Right.
Like it's an entire book. Like, Jesus.
Now, if you're going to say, hey, give it an exclusive cron because we're going to reward you for whaling. Hey, cool. When a character is stunned, you take a bonus turn. Or, this character has plus 25% stats for every character on the team. Or, I don't know. Something like that is reasonable. Not, hey, insert GL wall of text here. There's your datacron. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I do X, Y, and Z and resist half the GL stuff. No, that is way too out of line. That is way too much. Now, if you want to do some flavor text and do some cool stuff in there, cool, all for it. But when you start negating people's kits and people's characters that they've invested hard for, that's where I have a problem. That's why I'm saying it's ridiculous. I don't like it.
Yeah, another thing I thought of afterwards, I didn't talk about this earlier. One of the things that I've seen, I didn't know this was a thing prior to this. Apparently, these exclusive datacrons also have, I don't know what the term was, like premier stats. There is the potential, it's not a guarantee, there's the potential for you to roll like a premier stat where it's not necessarily a stat that is included in the datacron. So for instance, like offense. Offense, I don't believe, is in this current datacron set with the Great Mothers. You could roll this premier stat in that exclusive datacron, though. And it's a massive stat. Like, it's way, 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 way higher than you would see compared to a normal datacron. That's, I think, with the datacron that we faced there, like, it was 92% protection. There's no way that they had 92% protection plus 50% health plus the, 50% armor pen. Like, there were stats on there that clearly were, like, inflated and boosted. So...
Can you re-roll those datacrons?
You can. You can re-roll the stats.
See?
You can't re-roll the level 9. You can re-roll the stats.
Sense.
And you can re-roll the level 6 and the level 3, though. Because that's the level 6, he didn't have the ideal one, but he could have re-rolled that. But to your point, I love what you said about how the character should be your whale benefit, so to speak. And it should reflect in efficiencies in GAC and things like that, not necessarily getting a hold. But I don't hate the idea of the datacron, the premier datacron, or not the premier, the exclusive datacron, we'll say, having premier stats. I don't hate that idea because that is not game breaking, so to speak. Does it make it more difficult? Absolutely. But it is not game breaking like we saw in the level 9 on that cron and then a level 6 if you rolled the ideal version. So I guess what I'm saying here, Ram, and I think we're kind of in agreement with this, the idea of a datacron having kits essentially that make teams unbeatable is ridiculous. But having these premier stats that can make it exceedingly difficult is the wording I'll use here to beat that team in an efficient manner, I think is reasonable. Are we in agreement with that?
Yes. Yeah. I don't mind this. If I saw a cron that had, 92% protection, 53% offense, 82% armor pen, I'm gonna be like, oh my God, I hate this. But I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, I hate this, and this is completely broken, and I cannot use anything to beat it.
Right.
Now I'm going to struggle, and I could probably piecemeal something together, and it's probably going to take me a couple holds, and that's the intention, and that's where I'm saying the advantage comes from.
Right.
You wailed to get this, so there's your advantage.
Right.
But just outright losing to GLs, that's too much.
Yes. That's too much.
You're doing too much.
Yeah. Price is
But
right.
I mean, there's an easier solution to all of this, Shaka. There's a far easier solution to all of this.
So help
right?
me, if you tell me to level up my Inquisitors, I'm gonna throw something.
No.
Okay,
Why would I do that? That would be beneficial. No, I would never tell you something beneficial.
Okay. All right. Go ahead then.
No.
As long as it's not Inquisitors.
The thing that you do is just do exactly what I do. Go in, get your 10 banners, and call it a day because it's 3v3. Then I don't have to worry about a Great Mother cron because
That's
it's
true.
3 and it's crap.
That's true. That's a good point. That is a good point. That's essentially what they're trying to push here, though, guys. Like
I'm 0-2 right now, and I'm going 0-3, and I'm great. I'm happy for it.
Guys, on that note, let us know in the comments. So obviously, there's a lot of stuff that we discussed here, but let us know in the comments. One, are you a fan of a meta datacron, so to speak, like we're getting, or would you rather see exclusive crons just feature more like better stats and things like that, and not necessarily kits that become crazy? I know for me personally, I would rather see these crazy kits going on old characters like Plo Koon, like Eth Koth, to make old characters relevant versus putting these on the new meta teams. Just give them insane stats. I'm fine with that. Like, I don't know. Let us know in the comments, guys, what your thoughts are on this. I know not everybody likes datacrons. People hate the datacrons, but it's a reality of the game, and I'd love to see what you guys have to think on both the datacron stuff and, in particular, the Great Mother team as a whole, because, good God, they're disgusting. Anyway, moving on to our last topic. Speaking of things that are disgusting, you guys will understand that reference shortly. We've got our Master of Memes matchup today, guys. We do this every Friday on Twitch. We vote on Twitch for the winner. We'll get into that in a second here, and I'll explain some more of that momentarily. Now, Ram,
Good job.
What?
I'm the meme. I'm the Master of Meme.
Everybody look at Ram. Hi, Ram. Hey, we're back, guys. Absolutely nothing went wrong there. Nothing.
No. Nothing to see here. Move along.
Didn't we talk about things that were terrible or something like that in the quote before we had all those shenanigans happened? I think that's...
we said something about we're professional streamers, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Anyway, guys, Master of Memes, now that it's actually working correctly, for today is the following. I don't even want to read it. I don't even want to read it.
Oh, can I read it? Can I read it for you?
Go ahead, Ram. You can read it.
Bob Ross, Master of Happy Accidents.
We had a lot of happy accidents just happen, guys.
Versus me doing my daily tasks. I think I forgot something. TW, GC, GAC, Raids, TB, Conquest. If you forgot, then it wasn't important. Yeah, you're right. Oh, damn. Fleet Arena climb.
Rip. Rip. Okay, so Ram, I don't even want to ask you because I know what your answer is going to be. Which one of these is the better meme in your opinion?
All right. So, oh God, this was the absolute worst pairing I think possible. Because my heart was like actually physically torn between the two.
Yeah. These were two really good ones.
They were two really good ones. And while I will assume I know exactly where the chat went on this, because it's where I wanted to go on this. I actually went for the Fleet Arena climb one because that one just literally spoke to me on a personal level, because there has been so many times where I'm like, my intention is to do my Fleet Arena climb, and then I forget, or time goes, or I do all my dailies and I don't know. And then I see the crystals, or the lack thereof crystals, pop into my inbox. I'm like, oh, I'll get it tomorrow. And tomorrow never comes because I forget tomorrow, and I forget the next day, and just so on and so forth.
I think there's irony to this, because I always said back when I first started streaming that I just didn't do Fleet Arena, period. Like, I just didn't want to do it, so I just didn't do it. Like, I didn't even get my dailies done because I just didn't care to do Fleet.
Yep.
Well, now I'm like a slave to the system, and I do it every day. But I'm scrambling half the time at like 6:55 my time. I'm like, oh crap, I forgot about Fleet Arena. This meme hits so hard. You know, all of you, if you out there play Swugga, you know this meme, and you feel it in your core. Like, it hits everybody without a doubt 100%.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
we know where it's gonna
go. Guys, we vote for these on Twitch on my streams on Friday nights. And for those of you that don't know, I hate Bob Ross. And my audience is a bunch of trolls. So, of course, our winner was none other than Bob Ross, master of happy accidents. Our master of memes, guys. We've got a new one, upsetting the cooker of Russ's, guys. We've got a new winner, guys. Our master of memes now is Contingent. Congrats to Contingent, a pillar of the community, guys. If you guys like this meme, which you should not like this meme, might I add, but if you like this meme, or better yet, you think you have a better meme than this, as long as it's not Bob Ross, you guys can head over to Discord, and you guys can submit your memes over at our Master of Memes channel. We then do a face-off every Friday night, guys. If you win, obviously, like Contingent did tonight, we will shout you out both on the stream itself. We will shout you out over on Discord and give you a special role on Discord called Master of Memes. And, of course, we shout you out here on Rogue Actions as well, guys. So I'd love to see some of your memes that you guys got for us. Head over to Discord, guys. You'll find the links and all that jazz down below for all of that. As long as it's not Bob Ross. Contingent. All right.
I think some context is needed for your little Bob Ross hatred.
Oh, yeah. It's like me in Canada, guys. I don't actually hate Bob Ross. Just like I don't actually hate Canadians. We just like to poke fun. For those of you that don't know, Bob Ross, I was doing was it a birthday stream? Yeah, I think it was a birthday stream where I was trying to do like a 24-hour stream. And we went to go raid out. And no one was on because it was like 7 a.m. in the morning or whatever. And we had the suggestion of let's go raid Bob Ross, because Bob Ross does weekend streams, like 24-hour weekend streams. So we went to go raid him, and he rejected my raid. He rejected us, guys. So I hate Bob Ross because of that. We are not good enough for Bob Ross, apparently. He's not as nice as you guys think he is. He's mean.
You do realize the man's dead, right?
Wow, he's haunting me from his grave.
Shaka hates a dead man confirmed.
Guys, let us know in the comments down below. Did you agree or disagree with our Great Mothers discussion, our Metacrons discussion? I don't care whether you agreed about Bob Ross or not. Get that out of here. Ram, any final words before we head on out, sir?
I think Shaka could use a bit of a Bob Ross treatment.
Are those mints?
Yeah, happy little
mints.
treatments.
That's actually kind of cool. If only it didn't
You
have
want me to
Bob
get you a
Ross
box?
on it. No,
I'll send them to you.
No.
I'll mail them to you. I got your address.
It's like if they ever make
send 'em to
an Inquisitor giftable packet. Oh, God, I'm going to vomit if that ever happens.
Oh, they have those too. I'll send it to you.
They better not. CG.
You're going to open it on stream.
CG, I would rather have whale Metacrons exist in the game than Inquisitor giftable packets. Do not make that happen, please. Please, Meathead. For the love that is all is holy. Guys!
Did they actually have those?
Not for Inquisitors, no.
I could have sworn they had
No,
them.
because I would have them. I guarantee
You would have them.
Guarantee it. Guys, if you liked today's video, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. You probably didn't. But anyway, if you did, do it. Last but not least, if you guys want to continue your journey down that swugger rabbit hole, everybody, make sure you guys check out the next video. See you guys.
Or Bob Ross.